All right, and here we go. Here's episode one of my new channel I'm starting. I'm gonna start off with not the bikes. I'm gonna start off. I'm a big jersey collector. I love cycling jerseys, especially racing ones, especially from teams that are no longer around. There's some really neat ones out there, but I'm gonna show you the ones that I have. Some are not teams. Some are teams. Some have a story. Some don't have a story, but they're so cool. Some of my favorite parts of cycling is the jerseys. First one, my mother-in-law, they travel a lot, and I think they went on an Alaskan cruise, and she got me this one. Thought it was kind of cool. Um, it's neat, looks neat displayed. But she usually gets me, if she's thinking about it, and if there's somewhere neat, she'll get me a jersey. But this is one she got me not too long ago. Now here's a neat one. If you know gravel racing, Pete Stetton, his name is. He's super famous. He's had a father that was famous, had an uncle that was famous. He's like the ambassador. He's the OG. He's when gravel racing got, but he's the guy that kind of got it going. That's Stettin a name anyway, is famous. But Pete, super cool guy. And I'm a cartoonist, caricature artist, and I was doing some sketches. And I did one of him, and he saw it, and I tagged him in it, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool, man." He goes, "How do I get it?" I said, "Tell you what, I'll trade you jersey and I'll send it to you." But this is one of his. He's a privateer, not technically on a team, but he rides for Canyon. It's a different sponsor, but he actually signed it too. But it's kind of cool. But super cool guy. Like I said, I still keep in touch with him somewhat. But one of my favorites, actual jersey. Kind of cool to have an actual pros jersey. But anyway, um, here's another one my mother-in-law got me. This is really cool. I don't wear these; they're almost too pretty to wear. It's neat. They look cool on the wall, but she always thinks of me when she goes traveling or whatever. So that's another one. Um, Not the first. Yeah, I guess technically the first shop I rode for. Um, I live in Georgia. If you live in Georgia, you know where Kennesaw, Marietta, and Ackworth. But this shop originally, this is a shop that was in its second location. This would have been, no, this might have been in Ackworth still, but this was our jerseys back in the day. Pretty funny. They're not near as nice as the ones now. You can tell it has the shorter sleeves. It doesn't have the long. They're not arrow like the ones now. But this is my first true team I rode for back in the '90s. Still have it. And here's one a lot of people will recognize. Two of my favorite riders growing up were Gert Jantonisse and Stephen Rooks, and they rode. If you know, you know. They rode for this team right here. Super history with this team. Delgado's ridden for this team. Rooks, um, Eric Broykink, Sean Kelly. They all rode for this team. But I always loved this jersey, and I always loved this team. Love them or hate them. I know I'm not even going to go down the doping where we know, but just so iconic. Either Rooks or Gert, climbing up the Alps and wearing this or wearing this team right here. So I had to have one just to go into the collection, but pretty cool. Anyway, all right. Now we're going to go down the GT route, which I'm a big fan of this team. This late 90s, going into the 2000s. I have a bike actually this color. You'll see it in another video that goes sort of with this, but pretty cool. Yeah, these were very cool. Display well too. But I'm a huge fan of. If you know me, you know me. I love GT anyway, but pretty neat. Mid 90s maybe. Long sleeve one too. This is really cool. I have a bike that matches this too, and you'll see that bike later down the road. But pretty neat. Yeah, I love these Team Scream. That's what they call this color combination, but very cool. Very, yeah, I want to say, yeah, night. It could be late early night. It's that time period right there because Rock Shock's to come out by then, so it's got to be at least front suspension era. Short sleeve, probably a different year. Again, the Team Scream. Like I said, if you know, you know. It's so iconic, so cool. You have to have one, especially with the bike. You have to have one of these in your collection. Get these things to hang up. Then we got probably earlier GT. It's kind of reverse of the one I showed you. It's still the Team Scream, but this is probably still early 90s. Super cool, you know. But yeah, had to have this one. This one probably my favorite. All right, same shop. It's a different year here. This would have been, we went with the white, and the white shorts were hot. White top to go with it. This is probably early 2000s. Same shop. This would have been at the other location. They moved. This is when he got this, but we all got on the hype with that white jersey thing. That didn't last long. You know, the shorts lasted about 3 rides and they were dirty. So I was done with that. But same with the jersey. It's got some dirt on it here and there. You know, you're not keeping these things clean, but it's kind of neat still having my jersey from back then. Here's the cool stuff now. I consider her a friend. You know, if you know cycling, you know cycling racing, you know who Inga Thompson is. You know, one of the greatest, if not greatest, women U.S. riders ever. Known for the long ponytail. Got to be friends with her again, probably through caricatures / just chit chatting or whatever. But she's great. She's super nice. Super famous. She's done everything. You know, she's been in the Olympics. She won the polka dot jersey in the Tour de France Femmes back in the day. Of course, classic. You know, she's one of the OGs. But this is her national team jersey. I want to say early 90s. Kind of tried to photo match. She would probably know better than me, but she signed it for me. But this is one of her actual national team jerseys. Really cool. Yeah, kind of one of my all-time favorites. And getting it from her directly, really cool. And here's the cool of all cool. Now, here we go. This is her skin suit, and I want to say this is probably, I don't know what era. Tried to photo match this one too. Yeah, it's somebody will know. I'm sure I could find what exactly when she wore this, but it's her skin suit, which is the entire, you know, it's the one piece. But now she signed that too. But this is really cool. This is like a piece of, to me, a U.S. racing history is this team right here. And yeah, one of my pride and joys is this. But one of these days I'll get it hung up. But yeah, that's my small collection of jerseys. I'm sure there'll be more. I'm always looking for them. Hopefully I'll get me some more. But anyway, that's all for now. Next, my bikes. See ya.